Kamikaze vs Roronoa Zoro, a very fascinating bout bound to be talked about in this particular channel. Zoro, a swordman who wants to be the greatest in his verse, goes up against Kamikaze, who is already the greatest swordman in One Punch Man. This came to be simply due to Zoro's bad sense of direction that surprisingly winded him up in the One Punch Man verse. Having heard that Atomic Samurai holds the greatest and strongest swordman title, it's only natural for Zoro to eventually challenge him for a swordsmanship duel. In this video, we will be assessing both of their swordsmanship skills and physical stats to figure out who would be the greatest swordman between the two. But before that, do not forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell for more of these matchup videos. I'm always grateful for your support, as that certainly motivates me to make more of these videos. Thank you so much. It is safe to assume that Roronoa Zoro is one of the names that most of the anime fans nowadays know, one of the many greatest and well-written One Piece characters. The Nothing Happened scene, in my opinion, is such a legendary moment that solidified Zoro as one of the greatest in all anime. Zoro is the first mate and unofficially the vice captain of the Mugiwara crew. Becoming the greatest swordman in the world is his second goal after making Luffy the Pirate King. His swordsmanship and haki mastery is currently only rivaled by the top-tier characters. In a verse that is filled with a multitude of crazy strong characters with countless varieties of abilities, he solidified himself to be a force to be feared. Now, how strong is Roronoa Zoro exactly? You see, in terms of physical stats, there exists a variation of ends regarding many characters in One Piece. Many interpretations to countless feats and statements created a bound-to-happen situation where sometimes you find clear contradictions. Let's take Oda's statements per example, saying that the one fantasy he likes to realize on One Piece is that old men don't lose their strength over time. But as many of you already know, throughout the entire show, Whitebeard, Garp, and Rayleigh all hold statements that indicates they are way weaker than before. The reason this is important in this part is that while yes, sometimes characters perform a good feat that scales them higher somewhere somehow, it does not necessarily mean they would live up to it later in the story. Yes, of course, this is not only a One Piece problem, as it obviously happens in the majority of manga/anime, but since One Piece holds tons of chapters, it's bound to have tons of problems. With all of this being said, let's talk about Zoro's strength and durability. Zoro's current best strength feat is indeed damaging hybrid Kaido. Kaido and the other Yonkos are somehow relative to each other, and this is implied narratively throughout the whole series many times. With Whitebeard tilting the sea, that was calculated to be in the range of high 6B, which is large country level, Kaido should definitely scale to this or even higher, making Zoro, who is able to hurt him, range from country to large country levels of AP. There also exists another end, which is both Kaido and Old Whitebeard should be at least multi-continental. This is primarily based on the many statements of Whitebeard being capable of destroying the world, and as I explained in my Luffy vs Saitama video, there could be multiple interpretations to this exact statement. So for now, we will fairly estimate Zoro's attack potency to be large country level. As for speed, generally speaking, One Piece has been decently consistent to characters being capable of fighting and reacting at light speed. It has been clearly and directly stated that Kizaru is faster than light. Different characters has been dodging and intercepting Kizaru's lasers throughout the whole series. Even pre-time skip Zoro managed to do the same thing with dodging Kuma's pad cannon that was directly stated to move at the speed of light. With the many amps Zoro has gained post-time skip, he should be faster than light plus. Roronoa Zoro is also obviously a very skilled swordman. He clearly excels at long and close range combat, a master of both armament and observation haki, and also capable of using conquerors to amp his strikes even further. A very tough swordman who is fierce and refuses to go down, and would eventually attain the title of the strongest and the greatest swordman in the world. The amount of fighting styles in One Punch Man is unique and well researched, as they hail from different countries and cultures, various types of fighting styles being implemented in this series by different characters. Sword fighting in particular is one of the most prominent style within the One Punch Man verse, and the one who hails to be the best is Kamikaze, aka Atomic Samurai. Atomic Samurai is the strongest swordman in this series. Being an S-class hero currently ranked number 3 only means he is one of the individuals who are stated directly to be an anomaly. The threat level demon, which contains monsters who are a threat to a whole city or its functionality, is absolutely nothing to Atomic Samurai. Now, how strong is Kamikaze in general? Starting with speed, in chapter 108 volume 23, Kamikaze intercepted and slashed a laser attack from the G5 robot. Strictly speaking, G5 is definitely more superior to G4, who also threw lasers that can bend against Janos. This, to this day, still causes a problem for many fans and scalers. However, the G5 lasers attacks in a straight line, meeting that requirement to be as fast as light. The properties of those lasers were stated directly before to be light and shown later to project a hologram also made of light. But if we choose to go by calcs, this feat was calced to be 78% the speed of light, which is relativistic plus. There also exists a multitude of other calcs that certainly puts him closer or higher to this level, and it's also very important to note that Atomic Samurai casually reacted to the lasers. Certainly does not mean his synapses cannot react to faster attacks or that this is his peak level of combat speed, not to mention the clear amp in speed and strength he attained with the Sunblade sword. In that respect, Kamikaze's estimation of speed should be light to faster than light. Now, for attack potency and durability, I would say it's a bit complicated. Reasons why is that it all depends if you think his sword strikes potency can equate to durability. The best attack potency feat he presented is cutting off Golden S's arm with the Sunblade sword, meaning Kamikaze's attack potency highly depends on where you would put Golden S's AP at, which means it also depends on which class A strength tier you would be using for the multiplier. On the low to mid end spectrum of this, Golden S should be at least small country level, and therefore the same goes for Atomic Samurai. On the high end tier, however, Golden S could be scaled to being continental, which is crazy. This means Atomic Samurai's attack potency in general is either small country or continental level, but with Atomic Samurai's durability scaled to his sword strike potency. The general answer to this would be a no. Kamikaze should be much inferior in that aspect. However, in chapter 186, Nichiren states that by infusing Ki, which is his life force, into his weapons, they become a part of his body. This could certainly be an argument for durability, but until we see more feats of this being implemented as a defensive mechanism, this cannot be used. Now, Atomic Samurai's swordsmanship skills are very impressive within the overall verse. He can cut his opponents in an atomic level, slash an object so fast it leaves no marks, stated you wouldn't even notice it has been cut. Kamikaze is also capable of performing long-range attacks, same as Nichiren did when he slashed the plateau behind the apple. Atomic Samurai would eventually scale much higher than this, since not only is he going to master the Sunblade, but also for Shadow to do the same thing with the Moonblade, making him eventually master the Nitoryu style and become one of the strongest characters in the One Punch Man series.
できるもんならやってみろ。
Now, pretty important details I need to hash before declaring the verdict of this matchup. It's pretty clear that Roronoa Zoro has had more consistent showings and feats displayed in this series, unlike Atomic Samurai, who got a beating from a cadre and one minor exchange between him and Golden S. Some One Punch Man characters in the manga never seem to be that strong until they showed they are that strong. Take Tatsumaki prior to her fight with Psychos, where there were no evidence of her being easily close to multi-continental. What I'm trying to say here is that Atomic Samurai, using both the Sun and Moonblade, could be way stronger than we think, but due to the lack of general showings, we have no choice but to put him on this particular level. Now, based on the listed feats and statements, it's pretty evident and super clear that Zoro just outstats current Kamikaze in every category provided. He's just the more dominant fighter. When it comes to attack potency, Zoro edges him out a bit by being large country level, while Atomic Samurai's strike potency is at best small country country level. However, this still doesn't mean that Zoro would just tank Atomic Samurai slashes casually. He would obviously be in trouble if he took enough damage. While Zoro was indeed able to hurt Kaido, it was still by using his last resort's strongest attack, meaning that not all of his normal strikes or his baseline durability would scale to large country level. It'd be obviously his peak level, not his casual level of AP. By this logic, Atomic Samurai strikes would definitely deal enough damage to take out Zoro if he manages to connect. You see, the problem with this statement is that Zoro should be much faster than Atomic Samurai. Pre-time skip Zoro was dodging multiple light speed based attacks at once, and the amps these characters attained from that time to now is just stupid. Zoro should consistently be faster than Light Plus, where Kamikaze is assumably faster than Light, which makes Zoro obviously way superior. And while Kamikaze's slashes are proven to be strong, Atomic Samurai with our current knowledge runs out of gas quickly when using the Sunblade, and frankly that's the only way he can compete with Zoro. Surprising attacks like bending the Sunblade sword to attack Zoro would be futile due to the clear speed difference. However, the most pressing problem that Zoro would need to deal with is Atomic Samurai slashes that can produce other strikes at the same instance he attacks. Notice in this panel, when Golden S blocked one slash from Atomic Samurai, there were other strikes that automatically attacked Golden S's body and the ground simultaneously, although they still seem not to be as potent as the one Golden S is defended against, but they can still be effectively fatal. What I can think of in Zoro's part is either coating himself with Armament Haki or just react faster and move out of the way. If we chose to go narratively, Atomic Samurai strikes were just normal strikes. I don't think in any moment he has used his Atomic Slash with the Sunblade. He would definitely scale higher than this, and the verdict of this matchup could change drastically. Although this could be true, it's still a headcanon, and we cannot just assume he is stronger than the level he is presented at. For this, if we go by the stats listed, Zoro is superior and should definitely win this fight. Now, if you choose to go with the high ends, which is both being continental or close to that level, it would change nothing due to Zoro being still faster than Atomic Samurai. This is ultimately the deciding factor, as both of them in both ends are strong and very skilled, but one still have enough speed to counter and damage the other frequently. Thank you again for watching. It's been very hard to make videos these days, returning home late to start scripting, recording and editing, while sometimes being sick and tired. However, I do indeed enjoy the thrills of it, especially when I see you guys enjoying this type of content. It really makes me happy. For this, I am really grateful for you guys. Please do not forget to join the Discord server, and until next time, please take care.